It was prescribed for you, just like it was prescribed for the people before you. Who are the people before us? What do you think? Yahud and Nasara. What about the other ummahs? What about other nations? Why not? Majority of the people who are from subcontinent. So it was not prescribed for Indians and people before us? No, it was not. It was actually prescribed for every nation before us. We don't know how. But it's mentioned in the books that even Adam alayhi salam, he had to fast. And Nuh alayhi salam had to fast. And all the Anbiya and Mursaleen, with no exceptions, they had to fast. Now, but the ummah that we know, the nations before us that we know, and we have some of their books are who? Al-Yahud wal-Nasara, the Jews and the Christians. What about them? It is also mentioned in their books that Ramadan was prescribed for them. And look what I'm saying, Ramadan. I'm going to use the word Ramadan instead of fasting. Some group of the ulamas, and this is a very firm opinion, saying that Ramadan, not fasting. What's the difference between Ramadan and fasting? Ramadan is the month and fasting is the action. Meaning if I say fasting was prescribed for the people before us, it could be any other month, right? It could be any month. But if I say Ramadan was prescribed for the people before us, means that they also, the fasting is supposed to be also in Ramadan. So some of the ulama are with the opinion that Ramadan, Siyam of Ramadan, was prescribed for the people before us, even the Yahud and Nasara. And the same way like us, it's also Ramadan. It's either 29 or 30 days. We will see that also. But then this is what they add. They say for the Yahud and Nasara, and that's what happened in most of the milal before us, they changed the deen. Number one, the Yahud. They changed it. How many days the Jewish they fast right now? It's actually only one day. It's only one day. So they resume the whole Ramadan in one day. And that's why there is a deviation in many of the shara'i'. And you will realize that there is a lot of things that was prescribed for the people before us and us. They change it. So they switch it from what? From one whole month to just one day. This is one opinion. Now what about for the Christians? How many days they fast? They do fast, but it's a little bit different. They could eat, but they cannot eat certain things. So it's a type of fasting also. If you count all the days that the Christians are fasting, it's around 50 days. 50. 50 days. But it's not all in 1 month. And this is the opinion of the scholars, what they said. Say, instead of 1 month, they say 1 month is too hard for us to fast the whole month, day after day. So what they did, they say we're going to change the timing. Changing it from, because you know Ramadan for the Muslims, it comes in all the what? It could be in summer, in winter, right? So in that case, it's difficult. So what they said, no, we will make it in a time which is easy for all of us, in spring, right? And you know, because we're going to change it, we're going to expand it. So instead of 30 days, 29, 30 days, we're going to make it what? 50 days. So there was a change. So anyway, the idea that Ramadan, fasting, was prescribed for the people before us, just like it was prescribed for us. And this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the all milal and all the people before us. But they change it. So what do we discuss right now? We discussed, number one, fasting is a must on all of us by kitab and sunnah and ijma'. And we talk also about the history of Ramadan, that it was for the people before us, just like it was prescribed for us. And we mentioned the other nation. Third point that we're moving on. What is the condition of Ramadan becomes a fard on you? How are you supposed to fast? What is the rule of fasting? Number one, there are two things. Before that, number one, no, I'm not talking about okay, let me make it very simple. How Ramadan becomes valid on us to fast? It's actually seeing the moon, right? Seeing the moon, by seeing the moon, or completing 30 days of Sha'ban. So, if you don't see the moon, we cannot fast. right? If we don't see the moon, we cannot fast. Now the other part, we did not see the moon. So what are we going to do? We cannot keep waiting for the moon and we cannot see the moon, especially in the winter. So the second one is what? 30 days of Shaban. So that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftiru li ru'yatihi. Fast when you see it and break your fast when you see it. فَإِنْ غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ. But if you cannot see it, there is ghamam, there is cloud. Especially in the winter. It's cloudy. You cannot see the moon at all, right? So فَإِنْ غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ. If you cannot see it, then فَأَكْمِلُوا. So you completed 30 days. So this is how Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us to start the fasting of Ramadan. 29 days or 30 days. Now, let me tell you something very interesting. Probably you may heard that for the very first time. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fasted how many Ramadans? What do you think? Huh? How many Ramadans? 12. A little bit less.
Second Hijri it was prescribed, so maybe...
You are good in math.
6.
6. Come on, brother. If it's second Hijri, Rasulullah, how long he stayed in Medina? 10 years. Actually, he fasted 10 Ramadans. 10 Ramadans. Because when you say the 10 of Hijri, he hardly completed the year and Ramadan came and Ramadan was prescribed. Now, out of the 10, do you know how many Ramadans Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fasted? 29 days and fasted 30 days. Huh? 9. 9 of the 10, it was 29. And only one Ramadan, it was 30 days. Does it give you an idea? It will make you think a little bit. That the Arabic months, or especially Ramadan in general, it's mostly only 29 days. Mostly 29 days. And only one time, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fasted 30 days. Put this in your mind. You could search in the books and you will find out, inshallah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fasted 90% of Ramadan as only 29 days. There's no one who's more righteous than Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And if someone thinks that he's more righteous, more cautious, he's out of the deen. Because no one can claim that. The perfection, all the perfection, it goes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's no man who walks on the earth better than that man. There's no man that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he choose and he perfects all his action, what he says, what he heard, what he thinks, what he sees, how he feels, but only Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِن تُطِيعُوهُ تَهْتَدُوا. If you obey him, you will be guided. So I was saying Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fasted and he told the Muslims to fast. In Ramadan, the conditions are, number 1, seeing the moon. If it's not, then we have to what? 30 days. Now the question, Rasulullah said, فَإِذَا غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ. غُمَّ, it comes from the word ghamam. And ghamam means clouds. Right. Now here's a very big question over here. It's the 29 days of Sha'ban. The 29 days of Sha'ban. And it's winter time. And it's cloudy. And we did not see the moon. We did not see the moon. And in Islam, there is no calculation. I just have to make that final. In Islam, there is no scholars. There's no scholars of Islam, especially the old ones. No one agree with the calculation. No one agree with the calculation or whatever you could call it, the astronomy and all that. You may say, but we are advanced, whatever. But no scholars among the Muslims, especially the old ones, right, agree with the calculation. Now, I say the 29th of Sha'ban, and it's winter time, and it's very cloudy, and we did not see the moon. The next day, is it Ramadan or is what? Is it Ramadan or Sha'ban? But we may have doubt, right? We may have doubt. We may have doubt. That day is called what? Yawm shak, the day of doubt. The day of doubt. Now, fasting the day of doubt, is it good or bad? Why not? Why bad? Someone will say, you know what? I will fast tomorrow. If it's Ramadan, good. If it's not Ramadan, I'm doing a good deed. What do you think? It's a good idea. Why not? You follow the 90%. Huh? I am introducing? Okay. Let's put it in this way. Okay. Yes, تفضل.
in any part, we cannot assume to do more than what is prescribed.
Yes. Somebody say, I'm not doing more. Tomorrow I have doubts. It could be Ramadan, and it may not be Ramadan. Right? So what I'm going to do? I will fast. If, huh? Leave Rasulullah on the side, and just on this, and I will come back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to fast in certain, he is even sometimes used to connect Sha'ban and Ramadan. He used to fast a whole Sha'ban and the whole Ramadan. So, but that's only special for him. So I'm going back to this fiqh issue regarding this matter. 29th of Sha'ban, next day is Ramadan, and we have an argument over here, right? You know what? I'm going to put it on the safe side. I'm going to fast tomorrow. If it's Ramadan, good. If it's not Ramadan, I'm doing a nafil. I'm doing something good. Yes, brother. He said what? Rasulullah. Okay, so. But actually, I will say now, you know what? I'm staying out about the doubtful, but I don't want to break it. I don't want to eat in Ramadan. Probably tomorrow is Ramadan. Right? So this is the issue over here. Yes. Any other idea? Yes. Huh? Why makruh? You're cheering, right?
If for example, I fast.
Okay.
The original month of Ramadan was 30 days.
Yes.
Then 31 days I cannot fast.
No, I'm not saying. I said I have the intention, and I said tomorrow I'll be fasting.
Yes.
Can I finish? Can I finish? If it's Ramadan, good. If it's not Ramadan, it's a day. It's a nafil. It's nafil. What do you think?
There's no nafil there. There's no nafil in the Ramadan.
I'm not saying it's nafil for Ramadan. I say tomorrow, if it's not Ramadan, it's a nafil. If it's Ramadan, it's Ramadan. I'm fasting. Huh? Excellent. So it's question of niyyah over here. Now let me put what the brother said. Let's say, someone with this intention, and he said, you know what, I'll fast tomorrow. If it's Ramadan, alhamdulillah, I'm not missing the day. If it's not Ramadan, it's a nafil. Now the next day, they were able to find out that it's Ramadan. What's going to happen? What do you think? Huh? That day has to be, I have to make it up. I have to make that day. Because you know what? Niyyah has to be what? Firm. That it is Ramadan or it's nafil. It is Ramadan or if it's nafil. Now let me go a little bit further. Somebody with this idea, he came here and he listened to what I said, and next day he said, I'm fasting with this intention. If it's Ramadan, good. If it's not Ramadan, I'm nafil. But then he heard me saying, if it's Ramadan, then still you have to make it up. So what he did, he went home and he told his wife, okay, it's Ramadan, but it's already, I have to make it up. Make some tea and coffee and I want to eat. What he had to do? It's not only qada. Qada, you have to make qada anyway because you are that day. It will become what? Kafara. It's like you are eating on purpose, especially if that person knows about what I'm talking about. Let me go back again. Now, to clarify this, there is a saying of Ammar ibn Yasir, Sahabi. He say, من صام يوم الشك فقد عصى أبا القاسم. He say, whoever fasts on the day of doubt, indeed he disobey Abu al-Qasim. Who is Abu al-Qasim? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Right. So it's clear in the saying of Abdullah of Ammar ibn Yasir, whoever fasts the day of doubt, indeed he disobey. Now we say, but it's only Ammar ibn Yasir said. No. In the umur of ibadat, the Sahaba don't speak from their own. They say only what they heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This hadith we call it fi maqam al-marfu'. It means he refers to what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said. Because he would not say, indeed he disobeyed Abu al-Qasim just out of his own. Now, but some people, they may fast on the day of doubt. Under what condition could it be? And you know what? Let me tell you. A lot of Sahaba, including Aisha radiallahu anha, wa Umar, wa Ali, wa Uthman, wa Talha, they used to fast on the day of doubt. Excellent. If someone used to fast every Monday and Thursday, and the days of shak fall on Monday or Thursday, so he used to. So he's not fasting with the intention of what? Of Yawm al-Shak. But he's fasting with the intention of what? His regular fasting. It's a Monday and Thursday. Is that fine or not? Definitely that is fine. There's no problem with that. What other days he could fast? Beside Monday or Thursday, what else could be? Brother, you're so bad in math. How come days of the 30 days of Sha'ban will be 13, 14, 15? He just made a joke. I know he is good. Yes, could be what? Fasting of Dawood. You know, someone he has the habit to fast every other day. One day he fasts, one day he breaks, and that day came with the intention that he's doing. That's fine. Or someone, you know what? He used to fast. Let's say someone he had a promise, another, right? Or a woman, she's making up her fast from last year. In those cases, it's fine. It's not makruh, it's not haram, it's not. So what makes the difference between this and the other one is the niyyah, the intention, inshallah. Now, I was talking about the day of shak. Now, it is summertime, because I was talking about winter time, right? It's a summertime, like right now. And it's not cloudy, and there is no rain, and the sky is so beautiful, right? And today is the 29th of Sha'ban, and we did not see the moon. Is tomorrow a day of shak? No, it's not. Why? Because the sky is clear. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. So the next day, it is definitely the 30 days of Sha'ban. So it's out of question in that case. So we have to clarify this. What is the day of shak? It is when the sky is cloudy. There is cloud, or there is dust, or there is smoke, and we cannot see it. But if it's in the summertime, especially, you know what, in the villages and all that, people could easily see the moon. There is no problem with that. Okay, so we are talking about niyyah, right? The intention of niyyah. Now, fasting Ramadan, it needs a niyyah, right? How do you make niyyah? How do you make niyyah? Not you. Huh? In the heart, like what? I don't know how to make it in my heart. Verbally. Huh? You could say it. Do you have to say it? Let's say I didn't say it. Give me an example. I want an example. I want an example without, I don't have to say it. By the way, the niyyah mahalluha al-qalb. The niyyah, the place is the heart, not the tongue. If you say it, there's no problem. There's no problem. But if I don't see it, don't say it, still there's no problem. But how? How I made niyyah and I didn't even say it? Yes.
I set my alarm to wake up for this.
Excellent. So he put the alarm, so that means he had the niyyah to fast next day. Or you woke up for suhoor, right? So he had an action, and that action is already included in the niyyah. Because if I were not planning the fast, what I'm going to wake up for suhoor? Is anybody wake up for suhoor without having fasting? Very weird, right? Kids, they could do that. They could join their parents, and then they could have the suhoor, and the next day they will eat. You did that before? Okay, so we're saying the niyyah of Ramadan. Now, another issue. Do we have to renew our niyyah every day for Ramadan? Why not? Huh? Only one niyyah for Ramadan? Every day? So, but he's saying he want to make only one for the whole Ramadan. So if he doesn't make he does not renew his niyyah, will it be okay for him? He doesn't have a clock. Okay, so anyway, it's a fiqh issue. It's a fiqh issue, but the majority, they agree that the niyyah of Ramadan, once you make it one time, that you want to fast the whole Ramadan is there. But some of the scholars, they insisted for the fasting of Ramadan, that niyyah for every night. But waking up for suhoor, making your alarm, having the intention, it's already there. In order to come out from this khilaf, we say, okay, if you renew your niyyah, there's no problem. Actually, you already have the niyyah by coming to the masjid, going and all that. So that's not a big deal, inshallah. Now, but in some cases, you have to renew the niyyah. Like what? In some of the cases, yes, excellent. For the women, you know, the women in certain time in Ramadan, they have to break for whatever is there, right? So once she does it, she has to renew her niyyah because she broke it. Or a person, for example, he was fasting Ramadan, then he got sick, and he has whatever to break his fasting. So once he's gonna restart Ramadan, restart the fasting, he has to renew his niyyah. Again, of course, I'm saying niyyah, it's not by saying it, it's in the heart, but you have to have that intention that I'm restarting fasting Ramadan the next day. Now the big issue, and I will just take 5 minutes and we'll stop over here, we'll continue next week inshallah. It's about the ru'ya of Ramadan, local and international, which has become a big pain for all of us. If a group of people they saw it in a certain city and the other people did not see it, how does it work? Do they have to follow them? Yes, no? Yes, you have to follow them. He said it's supposed to be a local sighting. What's your proof? Because anyone bring us something and say, okay, brother, it's beautiful, but what's your proof?
Well, it says that it's moon sighting, so it's not, you know, in Saudi Arabia, they see the moon, that I have to follow them.
So once they saw the moon, they saw the moon. So the moon was already seen there.
They've seen it.
You don't have to. Do you have to see the moon now? If someone came here from New York City and he told you, I saw the moon, would you have to see it also?
I mean, I can't take his word as right.
Not from New York City. If somebody came from Russia, they call him from Russia.
Uh-huh.
And they saw the moon last night.
Is he a Muslim?
Yes.
A trustworthy?
Yeah, trustworthy.
Good. So what you're going to tell him? You saw the moon, but you have your own moon, I have my own.
It's not full moon.
Okay.
Because the timing is different. The geographically too long, too far.
Okay.
And maybe he is in the mountain, he see the moon, but we are not over here, see the moon. So how can we celebrate?
Let's say he didn't see the moon. You did not see the moon, but he saw the moon. And it's for sure that he saw the moon. He's a Muslim like you, and he's a trustworthy person, and he say, I saw the moon. It's the same moon that could be seen in Russia, will be seen in America. We all have the same moon, and
Day and night is a different.
it's the same day. It started there, and it could go in all the way to the west. Isn't the same day? When it's Thursday over here, it starts Thursday over here, and it will come over here. So we are still within the same day. Let me go back. I don't want to talk about this matter, so we'll make it very simple. This issue, of course, I know we're going to disagree over here, and actually these scholars, they disagree also. Some of the scholars, they said, look, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Sumu li ru'yatihi," fast when you see it. And he did not specify that a group has to see it or somebody else, right? So if one of us see the moon, then we have to fast. And a group of Muslims, and actually, as the majority over here are Ahnaf, the majority of the Ahnaf scholars, they go with this opinion, that seeing the moon in one city, it will make it lazim also for the other city, if they knew about it. There's another group of very respectful ulama, big scholars, of course they all know better than all of us. They have the other opinion. They said, no, we have also our proofs that it's a local moon sighting, like the brother said. And if the people saw it, it's not a must on us. We have to see it in our own. And historically, for the last few centuries, all the people have this argument, or probably many centuries. Some they go with this, and some they go with that. And we cannot say in any sense that this one is wrong and this one is right. But you may be comfortable with this group, and you may not be comfortable with the other one. Sorry.
With respect to communication, we have better communication now than what we had centuries ago.
Yes.
Now, is there anything in the history, in time Rasulullah when Rasul instructed the Sahaba to notify others when they see the moon?
Well, actually, what happened? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in one incident, Arabi, a Bedouin, came from the village. He was not living in Mecca, Medina with them. So he came to him and he said to him, I saw the moon. And he know that he is not from the Medina, but he is from the village. So he asked him, do you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He said yes. So he told the people to fast. Actually, this one, the same hadith is the proof for both of them. So those that they say, look, Rasulullah agree with him and he is from another place. The others say, Rasulullah agree with him because he lives within the same matla'. So the same hadith will be the proof for both of them. And we will see it in many occasions. Anyway, I'm saying this is something which is in the fiqh, which is the scholars disagree with it. I mean, they have different opinion, but they respect each other's opinion. I'm going to close with this because we'll discuss a little bit more about it. But just for this matter of ikhtilaf. Just for this matter. Because, most of the time, we disagree and then we start creating what? A dislike between us. Because you don't like my opinion and I don't like you anymore. There's a difference between opinions, and you like badminton, right? And he's so good. Yesterday he was playing very good. You too also, so it's okay. But I like soccer. It doesn't make us enemies, but sometimes we disagree with one opinion and here you are, the word finished. I'll give you an example and I will finish with that. I give this example before, and I will bring it again. A woman, let's say she had her period, and the period finished, right? And then she started offering her prayer. No, sorry. A woman is pregnant. A woman is pregnant. And usually a woman, if she's pregnant, there is no period time. But then the woman saw some blood on her. Is that blood called dam of hayd or dam of illness? If she sees the blood now, can she pray? Can she fast? Yes? Okay, good. Anybody says no? Okay. Now look at this one. Imam Malik rahimahullah, he said this blood is dam of what? Illness. It's a must on her to clean herself and offer the prayer and offer the fasting. His teacher, Muhammad ibn al-Munkadir, a big scholar, he said, no, this blood is a blood of hayd. And it's a must on her not to fast and not to offer prayer. Two more. Imam Zuhri rahimahullah, which is the teacher of Imam Malik. And his teacher, who is Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, one of the tabi'een, a student of Abdullah ibn Abbas. So one of them said, it is again damul hayd. It's haram on her to fast. It's haram on her to offer prayer. And his teacher said, no, it's haram on her not to pray. It's haram on her not to fast. You see how the issue is very serious, because this poor woman, she will go to the scholar and he said to her, it's haram on you if you don't pray. It's haram on you if you don't fast. And it's the pillars of the deen. And the teacher of that same person say, no, it's haram on you if you pray. A woman, if she cannot pray, it's haram. It's okay. No, it's not okay. It's haram on her to pray. It's haram. This woman will be confused. But you know what? None of them say, you good for nothing. You don't know anything. How can you tell that there are teachers and they love each other, they respect each other. They have differences and they accept the differences because it's a matter of what? Of ijtihad. A matter of what? That there is a dalil and both of them, they see the dalil and they get the hukum from the dalil. And they had all this love and respect. And I really, if you read the history of the Muslims, especially these big scholars, you will realize and you will see this love between them. Imam Malik and Abu Hanifa and Shafi'i and Ahmad, they were teachers for each other and they have their differences with each other. Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani, which is a student of Imam Abu Hanifa, and he was actually Qadi. He went actually to Medina and he offered the prayer behind the Maliki Imam. Because in Medina, the madhab of Imam Malik was the only madhab there. He offered behind And you know what happened? The imam that he was leading the prayer, he was bleeding, right, from his nose. So the salat finished. One of the students of Imam Muhammad bin Hassan, he said to him, the imam is bleeding from his nose. According to the Ahnaf madhab, the salat is invalid. So how you are praying behind him? And he is the imam, and he's teaching the people that. What the answer was? He said, look what he said to his students. ألا تصلي وراء مالك? He said, you will not pray behind Imam Malik? How can you say that you cannot pray behind Imam Malik? And he accepted. Now, when we come to those differences, it's sometimes a small difference, and we make a big issue about it. Although you could keep your opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, if we can come closer, that's even much better. But fight for it? No way. Imam Shafi'i, I'll close with that. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah says something very interesting. He said, you know what? رأيي صواب يحتمل الخطأ. My opinion is something good and it may be wrong. وَرَأْيُكَ خَطَأٌ يَحْتَمِلُ الصَّوَابِ. And your opinion is probably a mistake, but it could be also right. And he kept it with this balance. May Allah give us that balance. And I will close over here. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm not taking questions, but we will do it for the next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.